What's up? My name is Capable, and today I'm going to show you how to make a melodic house track. Melodic house is a subgenre of house music that emphasizes uplifting melodies, emotional progressions, and atmospheric sounds. It blends rhythmic beats with rich melodic elements, often featuring layered synths, warm bass lines, and soothing vocals. Most known by icons in the genre like This is by far one of my favorite genres to produce because it keeps me in a dream state the entire time, which allows for really good idea generation. Anyway, let's get into it.
What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Skinny Pete. I just filmed this entire video and the audio was corrupt, so we're gonna run this back and I'm gonna try to keep my sanity. So yeah, let's do this. That being said, the song is now done. So yeah. To make some amazing melodic house, you need some groovy drums. Let's open up Ableton or your DAW of choice and set the BPM. Melodic house is usually between 110 and 128. We'll be doing 128. First, we need a kick on every beat, 4 to the floor. I'm gonna highlight and Command D to duplicate, Command L to loop, clap on every second beat, hats on the off beats. Then next we need the secret sauce, adding shakers and rides. Duplicate the drum section to make it 8 bars. Add some cuts and some variation to make your drum stand out. Now your drums are ready. Now we need a melody. Holy fuck, that's hot. I like to start off with some beautiful melodic chords. It usually sparks a lot of inspiration for the overall creation of the entire track, and overall helps me guide my decisions when producing. The entire song will be based around them, with bottom notes being bass notes, which we'll use for the sub and the bass line. And these top notes will be the synths, leads, and anything that involves high to mid notes. Think of your chord progression as the main building block to your track. If you want a future video on how I build chords, just drop a comment below. But once you have your chords, you can now use these to create things like pads, choirs, arps, synth leads, you name it. I like talking to myself sometimes. Is that weird? Staring at a camera? Talking to myself? Yeah, I think I don't know if that's right. It's normal. But I'm gonna run with it. That's me, dog.
7 a.m. and I'm fucking tired.
Okay. Now from here we add our synth layers and any layers we want our progression to come alive with. For this track, I stumbled across an Ableton stock pad. Opened an automation lane by clicking the A key. Slowly brought in the space macro and took out the low end using an EQ8. Duplicated this MIDI track hitting Command D. Then added a great free synth called the Model 84. Then found a suitable preset. Adjusted the attack and release settings to my liking. Added an OTT. Then put the upward and downward compression to 0. Took out the lows and brought the depth to 45%. Because honestly, that's just where it sounded good to me. I duplicated this MIDI track and changed the preset, repeating this previous process. And mix the volume in with the channel fader to fill in the space. Now to tie this all together for the intro, let's add a bass layer. Huge pro tip that I wish I started implementing sooner. Practice grouping your basses, synths, instruments, anything, so you can save them for later and reuse them in future projects. This tip will help you develop your sound over time as an artist. For this track, I used one of those saved basses, one of my go-tos, but I'll quickly break this bass down for you. You can see I used the bottom notes of the chord progression we made earlier, giving us solid and relevant bass notes. Started with a serum preset I like to use, slowly automating in macro 1. Added sausage fattener to give it that gritty distortion. EQ8 to take out the unnecessary lows, as I don't want any sub-frequencies in this intro. Utility for safe measure, monitoring the bass. A stock limiter to catch any peaks. Added thermal by output, pushing a heavy, distorted overdrive effect, making this bass super fat and loud. An auto filter, slowly filtering it in over time. An EQ8 to remove any newly introduced low end. A utility for manually sidechaining it. Glue compressor for the future drop section. And a limiter smashing the overall volume back to 0. And yes, this limiter is absolutely smashed. But it sounds good to me, so honestly, fuck it. Then let's layer some background effects for some early ear candy. I grabbed this melodic one-shot that I found, part of an atmosphere I liked, and some touches like this pad. Then a faller that I grabbed from our upcoming vocal sample pack, Dreamer. Reversed it and made it into a riser. Now last but not least, to tie this intro together, we need the cherry on top. Holy fuck, that's hot. Let's be honest, the most uplifting, energetic, and ear-grabbing part of any huge song is the vocals, especially in melodic house. Think of songs like or and like and yo, if you're like me and struggle to find fresh, high quality, royalty free vocals that haven't been overused by everybody and their mom, you're definitely not alone. It's definitely tough to avoid using splice vocals and still have a unique, outstanding track that catches the ear of both labels and listeners. I know your pain firsthand. Yo, but I actually have you covered. I put together a free beta version of my upcoming vocal pack, Dreamer. It's packed with 80 plus hand-picked female vocals, pulled straight from the full version, which has over 300 samples. So if you're on the hunt for fresh, royalty-free, non-overused vocal samples, I got you. Just hit that first link in the description, or the link below that to check out our website and learn more about it. Anyway, back to it. For this track, I grabbed some angelic, dreamy vocals straight out of that beta pack.
I wanna wake up next to you every day of the week.
I found that these vocals pulled this track together, making it feel really emotional and uplifting.
And it feels so strange that I'm here, but I see it crystal clear.
Exactly what I was aiming for. Add my own personalized wet effect in the background. I had duplicated a quarter note of the vocal and repeated this for the next 16 bars, creating a small build-like effect.
Next to me, and it feels
Using utility to slowly pan more and more over time. Then using Endless Smile to add overall air to the vocal, filtering it in over time. I repeated this vocal effect a few more times, but in half notes, chopping up the vocal phrase to give some variation.
clear, clear.
Sounds pretty good to me. So yeah, don't forget to grab these free vocals below, and I got you. Now, your intro is done.
Now that I'm near you now, I'm no longer bound, breaking the chains that held me down.
For this track, I wanted to have a switch up feel for the build and drop section. So using the chord progression we made earlier, I did just that. I copy and pasted the 32 bar MIDI clips from the previous section, chopped the notes up into eighth notes, making the chords into a pluck. To add even more variation in the build, I didn't reuse any of the previous synths. I decided to keep it simple and use two styles of piano from the Ableton stock library, giving this a live and uplifting feel. The Ableton Grand Piano with minor tweaks and a low cut, and an Ableton stock instrument called Process Keys. I slowly automated in both filter 1 and 2 frequency macros, and the release knob to give the notes a gradual sustained feel, slowly filtering it in. Took out all the drums except one hi-hat loop that I used, slowly filtering in the hi-hats using the goat. And of course, can't forget the center of attention, the vocals.
Please don't wake me up, got some things to do.
For this section, I just used one of our short phrases from our free beta pack. I then put the vocal into a granular synth called Quanta, resampled some of the vocal grains, to get this flume-like effect. That I want to use later in the drop section. Added a utility, manually automating the volume to create a heavy swing sidechain-like effect. Resampled this into a 4-bar loop and duplicated it, slowly filtering in the sample, using reverb to space it out as the build progresses. Last but not least, a simple sweep up to a kick as a pre-drop, while letting the vocal play out. Holy fucking balls, that coffee's so hot, dude. Now we're going to bring everything together. The synths, the drums, the bass line, the effects, and the vocal layer we created in the intro. Let's put this all together into one big, angelic, and energetic drop. Honestly, this song came out way better than I expected, at least to my ears, so I hope you're enjoying it just as much as I am. Honestly, just feels like a summer anthem. Okay. After 8 bars of the drop, I wanted the vocals to come in with as much energy as possible. So I heavily pumped them with the utility, automating the volume, doing a heavy, heavy sidechain. It's pretty much overkill, but I like it, so oh well. Then for the last 8 bars, continuing the vocals, but I added some movement in the bass line by adding a bell on the EQ8 of the main bass, moving it around the frequency spectrum to where it sounded good to me. Now step 6, the break. Okay, so we need to start over but without losing the listener. So I like to do that is usually keep the bass in and some type of vocal or atmospheric effect to keep the listener engaged. Usually do this for about 4 to 8 bars or 16 depending on your song, but 16 is a little excessive. With this song, I just kept the bass and some vocal effects.
Get a heart attack. Let's get lost.
Then slowly added more elements in seamlessly until drop 2. Like the kick, the vocals, synths, and honestly just made simple variations to the song as it went on.
That had me down. I wanna wake up next to you every day of the week.
Utilize stuff you've already created. It'll make your idea generation a lot easier. I repeated a similar build-like effect using Quanta, resampling those free vocals, but different tones to make it not feel the same. Copy and pasting certain elements from your first drop to your second drop is actually a huge help in creating ideas. But to make it not feel the same, what I like to do when pasting stuff over, I start to shuffle main buses around and certain elements around. The biggest difference on this drop is I made it complete vocal chops, utilizing Quanta instead of layering the vocals on top. I then simplified the drums and changed up the distortion effect on the bass line by adding a new bass layer. Now, the outro. Sometimes you just gotta keep it easy, but avoid cutting the song dead. I find sometimes just having a simple 8-bar drum loop is a nice ending to the track and allows for other DJs to mix out of your track very seamlessly. Anyway, here's the final result, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
3, 2, 1. Let's roll. Yeah. Bring it. Ooh. Now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey. I wanna wake up next to you every day of the week. I wanna know what it's like to feel you next to me. And it feels so strange that I'm here, but I see it crystal clear. Breaking through, I feel alive, and I know it's not a lie. I'm done with that old life, not gonna go back. I think if I did, I'd get a heart attack. I know that I hear you now, I'm no longer bound, breaking the chains that held me down. Please don't wake me up, babe. Got two things to do. Don't know if I'm dreaming or awake, but all I can think about is you. Please don't wake me up, babe. Got two things to do. Don't know if I'm dreaming or awake, but all I can think about is you. Get a heart attack. Let's get lost. That held me down. I wanna wake up next to you every day of the week. I wanna know what it's like to feel you next to me. But I see it crystal hold me down, don't hold me down. Hold me down, don't hold me down. Hold me
And that is how you create melodic house. And again, if you want any of the vocals from this video, you can hit that link below. And if you do grab them and feel kind enough to drop us some feedback, shoot me an email or drop a comment below, and we would love to hear your feedback on the pack. It's 80 free vocals. Can't go wrong. Why not? Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. And remember to stay consistent. Peace.